it's very important that we are aware that weather is being modified. And I know some of you have already told me you were at the Hyde Park protest on the 21st, and you are aware about the geoengineering, the weather modification that's going on in our skies. And it's been very difficult to find out what's going on. There was a petition, 160,000 signatures. I'm sure you're aware of that. And then there was a debate in Parliament on the 23rd of June, which I attended. Ros Savage, a Lib Dem MP who's very interested in the environment, spoke on behalf of the petitioner. An elderly lady who lives in North Wales called Antoinette Taylor got the petition up. Unfortunately, she's not very well and wasn't able to travel. But I was able, with another activist, to speak for her. I was able to brief the MP, Ros Savage, and got some of our points across during the debate. But the point is that there is an agency called ARIA, the Advanced Research Inventions Agency, has been set up, and I've since discovered that they have been given £85 million by the British government, our taxpayers' money, to research interventions that are depriving us of our precious UV light and depriving us of sunshine. It's affecting crop yields, it's affecting the way that we can grow things in our gardens, and it's affecting our health, because vitamin D is essential for everything. Now, I'm delighted that we've got a bit of sun now. Get your kit off, guys, so you've got as much vitamin D hitting your bodies as possible. Vitamin D is essential not just for bone density and bone health, but it's also essential for your immune system. And during the pandemic, people who had low vitamin D were much more susceptible to illness and infection. So it's really important that we've got adequate vitamin D, and the sun is how we get it. But if we can't get enough sun, and in this country, the sunshine levels are not great, even worse with weather modification, then we need to be taking supplements, and ideally take your supplements with K2. So vitamin D3 with K2. There are various companies that do them. Keep a lookout for what's in them as far as additives. You don't want one that's got peanut oil. You want one with olive oil or coconut oil. So I will be here afterwards. For those who don't get their questions answered, I will happily take questions after the event is over. I'll be staying to take questions if you have them. So what can we do about this geoengineering? Well, there is a freedom of information, a huge bundle of admissions from the government. A freedom of information request went in about what this agency are doing. The way they've kept it under wraps is using all kinds of weird names of agencies and different bodies, and the government has said they're not doing it, but they've given money to independent agencies who are doing it, and they're getting out of it that way. So it's very underhand what's been going on. But there is, in 2022, there was a piece of legislation, the Advanced Research Invention Agency Act was passed by the UK Parliament, and that then awarded all this money. So they're doing things in a very underhand way, but we need to be aware of it, and we need to be out there. Freedom of information requests, speaking to your MP, sending letters, getting loud about it, complaining about it, and getting on social media. Now, what we've been seeing is stripes in the sky, and we're told that those stripes in the sky, I can't see any at this particular moment, but we've seen them, we've all seen them, and those stripes in the sky, they're dumping aluminium powder, they're dumping barium salts, strontium salts, and also manganese salts. But the main ones are aluminium powder, which is affecting trees, it's damaging tree growth and health, and it's also affecting forest fires are burning at a much higher temperature, so that's causing terrible problems. So what we can do about it, if you are a gardener and you've got rainwater butts, get horsetail herb. Horsetail herb is available, organic horsetail, or you can grow your own, and get that horsetail into a stocking, stick it in your rainwater butts, and the silicon from that horsetail herb will neutralize the aluminium and protect your crops from the damaging effects of aluminium. If you've got a fish pond, same thing. You can protect your fish from aluminium by using horsetail. Eat more cucumber. Eat more celery. Those both have silica in, and that will neutralize the effects of the aluminium. If you are concerned about the barium salts that are coming in these chemtrails, then if you use magnesium, make sure you've got lots of magnesium in your diet. Dark green leafy vegetables are very high in magnesium. And make sure that you're putting plenty of Epsom salts onto the garden so that the soil has got plenty of magnesium in the soil. Magnesium reacts with the barium salts, and it actually makes barium sulfate, which is insoluble and inert. And it is then not going to cause any trouble. It will just be a solid material that will just not cause any problems. So we neutralize barium salts with Epsom salts. Great thing to do is have an Epsom salt bath. That's really good for you. If you don't have a bathtub at home, you can do an Epsom salt foot bath. I do them regularly. I don't have a bath at home. They're really lovely, great for increasing your magnesium, increasing your health, increasing your feeling of well-being, improving your sleep, and then you can take that water and pour it on the garden, and that magnesium sulfate from the Epsom salts is going to replenish, and it's going to neutralize any barium that's landed on your soil, and it's also going to provide magnesium for your plants, so they're going to benefit. So another great thing you can do. Making sure that you've got adequate B vitamins is very, very important. B vitamins help your brain detoxify any toxic agents that happen to get into your brain, and so make sure you're getting your B vitamins. Best source of B vitamins, sorry to the vegans, best source of B vitamins is liver. Get your liver. Make sure you're eating liver. If you don't want to eat it, you can get organic liver capsules, and good supplement manufacturers provide those, so you can take it that way. But liver is really, really important to make sure you get your B vitamins. One other concern is that the B vitamins, they're adding synthetic B vitamins to flour. They take out the B vitamins that were in the grains and replace them with synthetic ones. So make sure you read up about B vitamins. Cyanocobalamin is a synthetic B12, not great for everybody. Some people are okay with it, not everyone. And then folic acid is a synthetic B9. Not everyone can deal with that. So make sure you're getting the methyl version. Methyl folate is a better option because about 40% of us cannot methylate or process the synthetic folic acid. It's not a vitamin, it is a synthetic excuse for a vitamin. So be careful because we're being fed this stuff. So there's lots we can do. Get your Epsom salt baths, get your Epsom salt foot baths, get your horsetail in your water butts. The other thing that's good in rainwater butts is to have barley grass in a stocking in there, and it keeps the water fresh and protects it from going stale and mucky with green stuff and algae and whatever. So all these things are important to protect ourselves. But geoengineering is really happening. Now you may notice I have a vintage car mark on the front of my shirt. My late father restored vintage racing cars, and I got very knowledgeable about internal combustion engines of the 1920s and 1930s. They are totally different to modern jet engines, and we are told that the stripes in the sky are exhaust or condensation trails from aircraft. That is absolute nonsense. Modern jet aircraft operate at 2,300 degrees. There is no soot in that. There is no uncombusted jet engine fuel. There is no products of combustion. And to tell us that the stripes in the sky are condensation trails is ridiculous. The condensation trail from a modern jet aircraft will be very short, and it'll be ice crystals, and it will melt extremely quickly. Modern jet aircraft do not leave condensation trails. It is a nonsense, and we're being conned with that information. Now, to finish, what can you do about this? There is a Telegram group, Geoengineering Action, which has been set up by myself and John from Stand Together, who's around somewhere. I can't see where he is. Put your hand up, John, from Stand Together. Where is he? Over there. Right, there's John from Stand Together. So there is a geoengineering action group. You can join that and get involved. And we'd really appreciate it. But there's lots more we can do, but I hope that's given you a taste of some of the things you can do to protect yourself from this stuff, and also to take action to bring it out into the open so they're not getting away with their evil schemes without our knowledge. One of the other things they're dumping out of these planes is graphene. You can put ionizers or salt lamps into your home. And another thing you can do, which is very inexpensive, is get yourself a salt pipe. You can buy them online, and you're breathing in salt, micronized salt. That bathes your respiratory passages. It's very good for things like asthma or hay fever or COPD. You're bathing your respiratory passages with salt. The liquid moisture in your body will then create saline and wash out your lungs. So that's another thing you can do. Plenty we can do. Get yourself ionizers, get salt lamps, and make sure that you are thinking about these things and keeping yourself safe. Thank you for listening. I hope that was okay.